Okay, next, I'd like to introduce you to Miss Shelley Hill, the indispensable organizational wizard. That is her title in their organization, the Complete Combatant. Shelley Hill, here you go.
Thank you. I've got to follow you. Jeez, oh, Pete's. There's a handout, guys, that's going to be in your folder. Got it? We don't need it quite yet, but welcome. This is called What's in Your Toolbox, and I'm Shelley Hill, and my husband dubbed me the indispensable organizational wizard about 15 years ago, and guys, it's stuck, so that's some big shoes to fill. We own the Complete Combatant and Fusion Fitness and Mixed Martial Arts out of Metro Atlanta. We also host the Mingle in May of each year, and the Mingle is a weekend that is dedicated to continuing education through firearms training, seminars, and this is for ladies in the firearms and self-defense industry. We got this. I'm also a co-founder of a nonprofit organization called Rachel's Rest, and Rachel's Rest is a retreat and counseling system for women and children that have experienced sexual abuse or acts of violence. I'm in charge of the marketing, admin, fundraising, websites for all three of these. I'm very happy to be here today to speak on a subject that I know fairly well, which is self-promotion. I had some thought on what I wanted to talk about, and it came pretty quickly to me. One of the things I get the most from friends is, how do you know so many people? How do you even make these contacts? And sometimes it's personality driven. You can have type A, type B, introvert, extrovert, but I actually follow kind of a system. I'm self-taught, so this presentation comes from in the field testing. So I put a lot of thought into what I call tools. Get it? What's in your toolbox? Yeah, kind of bringing it together. That I personally find very important when it comes to meeting new people and making new professional contacts. One is educate. The other one is confidence. The other one is positive energy. And the last one is bravery. Those are the four things we're going to talk about pretty briefly today. So if you look on that front page of your handout, you're going to see our logo. And the logo is the Complete Combatants logo. And there's a catchphrase that goes with that. It's the old cliche. The logo is, "You are the weapon." And the cliche that goes with it is, you are the weapon and everything else is just a tool. So this applies to this presentation, pretty much life. So that's where I'm going to tie, once again, all this together. A weapon. A weapon is something that is used to defend or defeat another. Guys, it also means anything that serves to outwit or get the better of an opponent. That's you. You're the weapon. Tool. A tool is a handheld device that aids in accomplishing a task. Well, it also means something regarded as necessary. So remember that. Something regarded as necessary to carry out or accomplish one's goal or profession. Basically, it's what you guys possess. Toolbox. Well, we all got that. It's where tools are kept. Can also be your brain. So let's put that together. Think about it. You are the weapon, and everything else is just a tool in your toolbox. You can add to this toolbox as you see fit. You can take stuff out of your toolbox because it's your toolbox. So on that page, you're also going to see the Complete Combatants mascot. We have two. One is Joe and one is Jane. This is Joe. And Joe is our average, everyday, the complete combat ant. Do you get it? The complete combatant. Huh? Huh? Okay. It amuses me still. Sorry, guys. Yeah. Okay. So let's take a look at Joe. So if Joe is the weapon and everything else is just a tool that helps Joe succeed in his self-defense goals, what are Joe's tools? We actually designed Joe and Jane with 7 tools in mind, okay? So I'm going to remind you what a tool means, because some of these are pretty obvious, right? A tool is a handheld device that aids in accomplishing a task. Well, that could be a keyboard, right? That could be a pew-pew. It could be a stabby-stabby. It could be a gun. That's a tool, right? But it's also something regarded as necessary to carry out or accomplish a goal or your occupation. So let's name off a few. Go ahead. Throw something out there, guys. What does, that's it. So we're going to look at edged weapon is on there. Give me another one. What else do you see? Flashlight, that's on there. What else you see on there for that Joe's got in his possession?
Phone.
Got it. Phone. Call 911. Help me. What else you got?
Flashlight.
Flashlight. Got that. What's the main thing that we're here for?
Training, instruction, education.
Okay.
He's either got a skirt or a cape.
Got it. Got it. No one said firearm yet. Check that one out, right? Look at his waist. What's he got around his waist? What tool does he possess that's around his waist? There you go. So we have a belt. So we're looking at martial arts. He's thinking of open hand skills. That's another tool that he's added to his toolbox. The other one, now we're getting down to the 2. We kind of touched base on it just a second ago, but we're getting on 2 now that is a little bit more difficult. All the other stuff is kind of a tool that we can see. But there's tools that he possesses that we can't see, okay? So one of them, though, I'm going to throw out there is physically fit. He's in good shape. He can run away if he needs to. That's a tool that he's chosen. And the next one is actually mindset. You guys touch base on that. We're going to go back to that. What we're going to do now is just move to the next section for just a second because we're going to get back to that 7th tool in a little bit more detail. So being in the field that you guys are in, we'll say media field because that's what AMM-CON's about today, you guys possess extraordinary tools, talents that a lot of other people do not. So take inventory. Think about that this weekend. What do you have? What do you possess? What tool do you have that makes you pretty special or good at what you do? So think about that. Name one. Miss Cheryl, do you have a tool that you possess that you think makes you good at what you do? What do you have? Give me one.
Actually, like just my natural curiosity
Okay.
for other people,
Okay.
my friendliness, my openness.
Got it.
My,
Gift of gab. That's a tool, guys. We know that, right? There's people in here that can't do that.
if I
I mean,
could just get over my shyness.
right? If we could just figure that one out. Amanda, do you have a tool? Yeah, and polka dots. Polka dots. That's a tool. You're using that. That's making yourself memorable. It is. It's a form of marketing, and it belongs to you. It's yours. And that's fantastic. What you got?
My razor wit and sarcasm.
That is absolutely true.
Sometimes it's sharp.
That's absolutely true. Absolutely. So what we just kind of touched base on is, once again, a tool is not necessarily something that's handmade. It's something that you have, okay? So another tool that I'm thinking probably a lot of you possess is going to be the ability to articulate your thoughts and others, right? It's a communication skill. These are all tools that need to be in, I think, y'all's toolbox in order to make contacts. So grab that handout again. Go back to Joe. And we're going to talk about mindset, okay? So Joe has good posture. His head is up. His eyes are open. He's aware of what's going on around him. We can call awareness a tool. Joe's made decisions ahead of time to educate himself on the self-defense skills that he wants to possess. Education is a tool. Joe shows confidence. He knows that he's going to be brave if there's ever comes a time that he needs to use these self-defense skills to help himself or others. So confidence and bravery are tools as well. So flip to the second page there. This guide that you're going to see, I've been using it for years. I've tweaked it just a little bit, but there's actually going to be people in this audience right now that are going to be shaking their head going, yep, that's how I met her. To maximize your efforts with this little guide here, I want you guys to know you can use it online as well, okay? We're going to talk about in person. We'll focus on that today. But once again, tweak it as you see fit. But please, don't lose sight of an online way to make new contacts. I'm going to give two samples or examples right now on how I met two people in this room using this exact same guide. First one, about 2.5 years ago, I was researching good, strong, reputable podcasts that would be a good fit for the Complete Combatant, Brian, and myself. The Polite Society podcast popped up several times in my finding. So I thought, hey, let's check this out. So I reached out to Paul and I introduced myself. We talked about Brian. We talked about the Complete Combatant. He liked what he heard. So he had Brian on his show. From this point on, Brian has been on his show many times, and I have. Even Susan, his bride, has been to Georgia. She has stayed at my house for 4 days, and she has attended the Mingle, and they're also sponsors. So personally and professionally, we ended up being a pretty good fit. The other one, example of online, is about 2 years ago, Miss Cheryl threw out a question on Facebook. She was working on an article and she wanted an expert's opinion on what she was working on. Of course, I listened to Gun Freedom Radio. I knew who she was, but we'd never met, right? It was just kind of saw the question, and I thought, wow, this is 100% in Brian's wheelhouse. So I reached out to her. Her and Brian talked, and she's ended up using him in that article. Now, from this point, we're talking 2 years now. Brian's been on her show, and I've been on her show. She's also a Mingle sponsor, and we're friends. So we were able to personally and professionally connect. But that doesn't always happen, guys. That's just, we got lucky. But that does happen. I feel like I'm here speaking today because of the 4 tools that I was telling you guys about. 1, I'm a pretty positive person. 2, I educated myself on who was like-minded. 3, I had the confidence that Brian would be a good fit. And 4, I had enough bravery to ask. So let's go over these 4 tools pretty quickly here. 1, positive energy. Energy can inspire, it can uplift, and it can energize the people with whom you come into contact. Energy is mighty enough to form success, but it's also mighty enough to assist in your failure. You contribute energy to everything you do, good or bad. So anything that you associate yourself, and it could be social media, it could be in the workplace, it could be friends or family, that energy you put in is going to come right back to you. How you contribute to your professional goals is as important as what you contribute. So make it a goal to represent yourself, your business, with a good attitude, because energy is like a boomerang. It's just going to come right back to you. So positive energy. Educate. You need to educate yourself on who your true target market is, not who you think it is, who it really is. You need to think about who is like-minded, who you respect, and who may have similar goals as you. Make a list. Research who will be in attendance at an event, just like this one, and see if someone that you wanted to meet is on that list. Prepare generic questions and talking points. Have a plan. Next one is be confident. You need to be confident that working together will be beneficial to you both, So think about how you can help the people on your list spread their knowledge or product through your resources. You don't want to waste each other's time. They need you. You guys are the media. You guys rock, right? So we need you. We have information that we want out. You have that, you want to get that information to your listeners or followers. So pretty much be confident in what you have to offer. Remember that from last night's dinner? Robin? Last one here is be brave. You have everything in place, you've educated yourself, and you're feeling pretty positive and confident. Now you need to shed that uncomfortable feeling, and you need to be brave. Walk right up to them this weekend and smile. Make eye contact. Shake their hand and introduce yourself. Guys, you would not believe how much that is forgotten. Be professional. Have those prepared generic questions and talking points at the ready. Tell them that you think they'd be a good fit because you've already researched them. Once again, invoke that plan. I still believe in business cards. So as you're talking to them, instead of just grabbing your phone and start poking in the contact information, hand over your card. If you think they're awesome, and this is something that's heartfelt, take a photo. I was talking to Cheryl about this the other day. Photos are a way of complimenting the person that you're with. It's like a modern day autograph. I love that, and I stole it. Thank you. It tells the person that you're with that they're important to you. And guys, that's what you're here for, is the positive stuff. So the next thing you're going to see is the tickler file and the follow-up. I'm not going to bore you with any of that, but please know that I use it every single day. There's a yellow folder that's sitting right there. And I've already put down some information from a dinner that we had last night that I want to remember. So that's already in there in that tickler file. So feel free to use that. You must do the work. You must do the work. It takes a good amount of time and energy to build strong relationships. I really believe that if you were to add positive energy, education, confidence, and bravery to your toolbox, that it will not only open up some doors with new contacts, but it also help you keep them. So I would love it if you guys educated yourself on who the complete combatant is, see if they'd be a good fit. If so, come up, talk to me, exchange contact information. That'd be very cool. And then make sure you put me in your tickler file. Okay? Got it. That's pretty much it. I want to thank everybody for allowing me to be here today. And if you guys have any questions or anything on meeting people or self-promotion, I know little bits and pieces about that. So thank you for having me.